Hi, Rupa. A very warm welcome to DC Conversations. Thanks for joining us today. Could you give us a brief, maybe introduction to IPRS and what exactly does it do?
IPRS is a very exciting body, I will say, today in the music industry because IPRS is um, the body and the entity which is in the core of the music making and the way the creators and the entire music ecosystem will flourish. And why I say this, because like whenever we have spoken to creators and the stakeholders in the music industry, we found that many of them are not aware of the potential of the earnings from the music industry, because in India, music was primarily driven by films.
Yeah.
Uh, Music used to be made for movies, and the briefing and the making of the music all originated from from a film, and the requirement was was that the music will be made for the film and the actors and the story. So the people who are actually making music, the author and the composer, they were part of a kind of a briefing session. They were part of a bigger, larger, like a story, like narrative, and they would just contribute their role as a creator, as a musician. But in the West, it is very different. Music is like on its own an IP and a content and a creative thing. So music used to be made for the sake of music, and from there the music found its way of commercial exploitation. And
Yeah.
because of this, the creators always were just an entity in this overall ecosystem, unaware that the thing that they are creating are kind of are very like they are very expensive and like expensive IPs, and those can be monetized in different ways. Uh, like post the post the copyright amendment in 2012, the things changed. Like because the copyright amendment made the right to royalty for the creators inalienable, and after that, the role of IPRS also gained prominence. So what
Mm.
does that mean? It means that now, whenever music will be exploited, music will be used. The author's share of royalties cannot be ignored or kind of refused. What happens to a music is that a song is a very kind of an interesting and a very different like product, I say, because whenever a song is made, when it is playing on streaming platforms or anywhere, there are monies being like generated, there are royalties being made.
Yeah.
But those royalties are for the master, the sound recording. But whenever the sound recording is playing, what is also playing along with it is the underlying works, the lyrics and the composition. And there
Mm.
is another set of royalties that are generated for the lyrics and the composition separately. And that is something which the creators themselves find very amusing. They can't believe that, okay, my song is generating a set of royalties which I'm getting from my distributor or from my aggregator. But
Mm.
over and above this, another set of royalty is also getting generated passively, and that is coming to us through IPRS. So today, it's become extremely important for any creator from any genre or any part of the country to be aware of this power of music, the role of music publishing, because like India has been a sound recording kind of a market and like a music market, but
Mm.
music publishing is very powerful. And if an artist knows how to monetize the music, the underlying works, they can earn kind of multiple times through the underlying works that they have created, that is the lyrics and the composition. Hence, the role of IPRS has become so important today because IPRS is the only sole body representing the author, composers, and publishers of music. And as per the copyright law, IPRS is authorized by the Government of India under the Copyright Act to play this role, to represent these creators, to license the music that they are making, collect the royalties, and pay it back to them. Our law is so strong and so well framed that today there cannot be a third party going and collecting and paying the author composer. The copyright law defines that if IPRS is the copyright body which has been entitled to license and collect the royalties, the royalties have to be directly paid back to the author composers through IPRS, and there cannot be another person, third party. So like nowadays, artists, when they tell us that I don't have the time or I don't understand how to do these things, so can my manager like collect on my behalf, or can my publisher collect on my behalf, or can any other person connect, like my label connect on my behalf? No. Author share of royalty will directly go to the author composer's bank account. And also that has to be a single bank account. It cannot be a joint bank account. So when the copyright law was amended, Javed Akhtar Sahab was one of the primary, like along with his team and other co-creators who kind of let this change happen. So they knew that how vulnerable creators are.
Yeah.
So they have the law as robust as possible. So IPRS is the only body who can collect this publishing royalties from the places where music is getting exploited and pay it back directly to the author composers. Also, if you see, IPRS plays a very wonderful role in the industry because we are the body who are connected to uh, the entire community of music creators across the country. Yes, today businesses who are working with music creators, but they have their markets identified. Today, kind of a label can decide that I will work in this market or in genre of music. So they have their markets and genres specified where they want to invest, where they want to focus. But IPRS being the sole representative body of author composers, publishers, our presence is pan-India. And that makes our role so exciting because today IPRS is a gateway to the creator community across India. And that makes IPRS a significant pillar, a strong pillar of the music creators in India.
See, big cities and singers who establish singers, they do know that probably they are aware to a certain extent on how they could monetize, right? But what challenges do you think regional artists face in terms of copyright and royalties, and how are you actually addressing these issues?
Actually, you will be surprised to know even the biggest of artists, the most prominent of artists, they are also not completely aware of the nuances of this business. So we have seen, so recently we did a survey and we were seeing the challenge around metadata registration because today you don't have a physical copy of your music. You don't
Yeah.
have CDs and cassettes that you will carry along with you and show it to people. See, this is my album, or so like here is my name as an author or composer. So everything is now in the cloud. Everything, your name, your credit, the details of the song, everything is in the form of a metadata uploaded on like on clouds and portals. So it is very important that whenever the song is being made in the studio and it is ready for release, and once it is published with proper metadata, the complete metadata with title, name, and everything, and that is also registered in IPRS. But recently we did a survey to see that many creators, they might have now understood it is important to join IPRS. They have joined IPRS, they have become members of IPRS, but they have not registered the works because they are of the perception that it will be automatically claimed and monitored by IPRS. So, as a creator, author, composer, if your label or publisher is a member of IPRS, they will register the works on your behalf. But today, if you are a single artist or an independent artist
Yeah.
who has not worked with a label or a publisher, or whose label or publisher is yet not a member of IPRS, then you stand a chance that your work is not registered. Hence, IPRS will not be able to claim or monetize or collect the royalty, license and collect the royalties. So, but we saw even artists from cities, they have missed doing the registration work. And in the regional space, it is even kind of difficult because language is a barrier.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, majority of everything platforms or like mostly are in English. When it comes to your data, your kind of all these technical things, they are mostly in English. So language is a barrier. Then many artists from remote corners don't have accessibility to the infrastructure for all these things. So there is lack of knowledge. There is access to knowledge is very limited. Whom will I go to? Today, you might say that there is so much of information available on the net. Just type in and you will have a lot of information coming to you. But when there is a floodgate or a flood of information coming, it is
Yeah,
even more confusing.
true.
And these like people are creators. They don't have the mindset to go through those pages of instruction and information, understand them, decode them, and then take the right step. So even just information being available is not enough. That information in the right format, right language, and in the right way is important to reach out, to be made accessible to these people. So they don't have access to the right kind of information, what is needed for them as an author composer. Then they don't have access to maybe a laptop or even like PCs. Recently, we were like during this survey, we were talking to a few artists from the remote villages and other places in Punjab, in UP, in Bihar. So they are having smartphones, but they are not having a laptop. So this person told us that मुझे गांव से शहर जाना पड़ेगा to a cyber cafe to register. So then when we like checked with him that you're ordering food like through your smartphone, they are saying that is fine, but okay, but to register a data on an Excel sheet, I cannot do it on my mobile. It is very
Yeah,
like
true.
cumbersome. So they
Yeah,
don't have that infrastructure. Many places don't have proper studios also. They're connecting the creator community in Srinagar. So we met a lot of regional artists in Srinagar last year when we had gone there for a workshop. They don't have proper studios also in Srinagar, but there are so many wonderful talent and musicians. So they have to travel down to Chandigarh or Delhi or other nearby cities to record their music in a professional way. So these are all the challenges that are holding back these people. Then access to copyright lawyers. So if I want to check a contract, then I can fall back and rely upon if I have to check certain clauses of my contract. So there is an immediate need to build an IP, access to IP knowledge, access to all these facilities where an artist can also, now when they're aware that these things are important, it has become even more important to provide this accessibility and facility to them. So like telling them, hey, it's important, but now they don't know where to go and how to do it.
yeah, exactly. That was my next question. So, how easy or difficult is it for music creators to register?
Yeah, see, it is not very difficult, but as we are as humans, we have certain mindsets. For example, I always tell my colleagues when they say that, like when we discuss that how difficult or how easy it is. So I ask them, but how many of you file your return? And 8 out of 10 people, they don't file their return on their own. They do it through their CA. Is filing return very difficult? I have heard my CA friends say, so no, it's not difficult. But it's our mindset that this is not what I can do, or it is not I am supposed to do because I am busy with my work, so let my CA do it.
True,
So
true.
we are cut out for certain kind of work, maybe. So yes, there are certain things which an artist need to know, certain terminologies, certain like identifiers which need to be like available with the artist to fill the data and the registration and all of those things. It depends on the acumen of the artists also. A lot of young artists today, the independent youngsters from the metros, they are wanting to learn, they are wanting to do. They focus on their music only and focus on their creativity rather like dividing their time between creation and all these things. Maybe not, maybe they should focus on their creation and there should be a support system built around them who should be doing this for them. So I think it's important to provide the support system, but artists should like know all these things.
Yeah,
Because even if I'm having a manager, there is a concept of administrator also in the music business. A publishing administrator is a person who is managing the metadata on behalf of the artist. The administrator will be the bridge between the artist and the copyright society. And the administrator will ensure to check all the data, the royalty statements and everything to ensure that the claims are properly happening, the royalty is properly being generated, the statements are in place, the data is being registered on time. So there is already a prevalent system of administrators in the West. In India also, we need administrators across the country, trustworthy, honest people who can help. But as an artist, I need to know what things are, how things happen. Because if you blindly rely on somebody, who knows? You should always trust that person, but without knowing, ignorantly trusting a person is not a very wise thing. So as an artist, so why we are doing this extensive outreach programs and the education programs is to make the artist aware so that you can take informed decisions, because these are intellectual property. So the way you are careful about your house, your assets. So when you buy a house, you are so careful. You check every paper, you check the sale deed, then only you go and sign, you pay the money. But these songs are even more priceless than a house that you're buying.
True.
If a song gets viral and hit, like sky is the limit to the earnings that you can get from it. So when it is your property, why not be careful about it? Let other people manage it on your behalf, pay them what they deserve for doing this work for you, but don't be ignorant. Understand the business, but have people to help you. If you are just an emerging artist, you might think, I don't have the money to appoint. Have your friends, have your family people to learn this and support you. So build a kind of a net of support system around you. And IPRS is always there to educate you and your support.
Clearly, ignorance is not bliss here. The awareness is the key, I guess. So, talking about awareness and all that, how do you think, festivals like Pahari, Goat Trap, will help, why do you think this is so important for IP education and dialogue? And how does the, IPRS leverage these platforms?
See, what we have seen from our experience since COVID, once the COVID was over and people were opening up, we were stepping out. Because during COVID, we saw a surge in music being made through the digital platforms. It's that time of in our humanity, we saw people being empowered through digital platforms. They didn't wait for opportunity to come to them. They went ahead, they utilized the platforms available, and we saw a surge in independent artists and music being made. But once people were empowered, then it was time to become responsible also. And people started asking a lot of questions to IPRS also, how this happens, how that happens, how do I choose my distributor, how do I choose my partner, whom do I collaborate with. So hence IPRS also stepped out to different regions, markets to talk to these artists, educate them on the different aspects, not only copyright, even the new trends, technology and everything. We partnered with YouTube, with Spotify, with Dolby and other key players in the industry to educate and help these artists from all corners of the country. So what we realized is that initially that if you go to these places and tell them, hey, come, we are here to give you some gyan, they will run away, or they might come. Sometimes it is difficult to get a large number of these artists under one roof. You have to go back multiple times to get them together. So one way of reaching to a new market where they are absolutely unaware of IPRS. Now in markets where people have become aware of IPRS, you will be surprised to know, and we were so happy to see that when we are organizing, say, camps or workshops in places like Kochi or in Chandigarh, like Ahmedabad, Pune, where people are aware of IPRS, we are getting around 150, 200, 250. Even in Delhi, Bombay, we got around 300 artists coming and joining our workshop. That is very encouraging. But say for a place where people have not heard about IPRS, they are clueless about IPRS. There, if I just go and say, hey, IPRS is doing a workshop, please come and join, you will get to know about rights and royalties, people might not be interested. Hence, events like Pahari Goat Festival, Music Festival, helps because these people are already there because of music, because of the festival. So when IPRS is going and collaborating with a partner they are familiar with, going into a place where they are already present and becoming one of them, it helps to build that instant connect with them. Like tapping these festivals are very important, and it also gets like helps IPRS to identify the talent, gives us a glimpse of the kind of music that is being made. Because today, if you see, IPRS has stepped like few steps ahead of just being a copyright society. Today, we have launched like 3 IPs which are focused towards giving the artist a platform. Because this is one area which we noticed is that people who are investing in businesses, they will always try to work with people who can give you instant returns. But there is so much of talent in our country who are like just waiting to like for the right opportunity, and they are extremely talented. One more thing which we discuss like realized is that we always say that this is a trending genre, this is a trending music, people today are listening to this music, this that music doesn't work, classical music is too difficult to kind of integrate to understand. But we believe good music always works, but it is important to give the audience an exposure to the music that is available, and our country has no dearth of music. And who other than IPRS can do it, because we are already reaching out to this creator community across India. So Soundscapes of India, Collab, IPRS Stage, these are all platforms to bring this talent to the mainstream, to give them the desired, the required exposure and opportunity. Hence, going to these festivals also helps us in a way to discover new talent, find opportunities on how we can bring them to the mainstream, and also educate them uh, to be more aware of how to kind of protect their music, to monetize their music, and um, and make more informed decisions when it comes to their music and their IPs. So
Yeah.
yes, definitely. There are so many festivals, and we are now trying to collaborate and partner with these festivals to give these festivals also a bigger stature and like utility. And it's just not about only like live gigs or an event or a 2 day, 3 day event. It's about building sustainable careers
True.
and long-term opportunities.
Thank you so much, Rumpa, for talking to us. It was nice talking to you. Thank you for all the insights.
Thank you.